Hello, thank you for the time given to me to present my presentation for 12th ISIEM. This presentation will be held by PowerPoint, so you won't see my face, only can hear my voice. Okay, let's start the presentation now. My title of my paper is Designing a Device for Measuring Human Reaction Time. The authors are Aurelia Budiwan, and my name is Vivi Triyanti. We are from Atma Jaya Catholic University of Indonesia. As a background of our research, because humans have three natural aspects of ability, namely cognitive aspect, affective aspect, and psychomotoric aspect. Psychomotor is the ability of the person to receive knowledge and then actuate it into the form of movement, following the commands received by the brain. Usually, a common method to measure psychomotor ability is by measuring the reaction time. What is reaction time? Human reaction time is the time from the stimulus accepted by the brain to the time it responds until the response finishes, and he could do it in the shortest time possible. Why the human reaction time is important? Because slow reaction time is one of indication of the fatigue condition. Therefore, the objective of our research is to design a device that can measure the psychomotor aspect of humans, especially in its relation with the reaction time. As a method, we use three steps. There are identification of requirement, consists of literature review and interview, and then making of user requirement list. And then as the second steps is design phase, consists of designing the concept, and then embodiment design, and then detailing the design. And the last step is the construction and testing. Here we just construct the prototype and then test the device, whether it can run well for all prescribed function, and then to test the ability of the device to differentiate reaction time in normal and fatigue condition. As the first result is identification of requirement. It is the example of the user requirement list. Here, we want to differentiate between thinking time or cognitive time to the execution time or movement time. And then the other thing, we want to consider the movement of the stimulus, the color, and the light intensity of light of the stimulus. And then after making a user requirement list, we make a functional requirement. Actually, the functional requirement describe a function and sub-function that should be done by the device. And then, based on the requirement, we make the design, and then we decide to make the device in 3 rounds. The first round consider color factor, and then the second round consider the number of flash rate, and then the third round consider the light of intensity. Each round will be done twice, and the final value of each round is the average of the 2 trials. Here is the selected concept. It is very simple, that consists of 6 buttons. It is the stimulus. It can change the color and the length and then the intensity of the lamp. And it is the button. And then after we build the concept, we make a construction. As the main function of the device is to measuring total reaction time, but still considering cognitive time and movement time. And then the device should consider the difference in color, flash rate, and light intensity of the object. Here is the prototype. The first is the display of the time result. The time result will be displayed here. And then to measure the cognitive time, it uses kind of infrared sensor. So when our finger pass the point, the time of cognitive time measurement will be stopped. And then the third thing is button to detect the movement time. When the button is pressed, then the total time or the movement time stop. And then we can calculate the cognitive time and then movement time separately. Then here is the prototype. Okay, it is done. Then we test the device. We make the trials on 280 samples, and then by using parity test, it is proved that the device could significantly differentiate between human reaction time in normal and fatigue condition with the p-value of 0.05. The value of reaction time when fatigue is greater than normal. As the conclusion of the research, the first conclusion is the reaction time device was designed and constructed to distinguish cognitive time and motor time or movement time. The device has the ability to consider the factor of light color difference, flash rate, and light intensity. With dimensions that are quite small and portable, this reaction time device is easy to carry. The device is proven to be able to distinguish reaction time in normal and fatigue condition. And as a limitation, the main weakness of the device is the sensitivity of the button and component durability. Because sometimes it is difficult to press the button, so we have to press it several times to make it work. Then for further research, it is expected to develop a device with more reliable component. Okay, thank you. This is the end of our presentation. This is the end of my presentation. Hopefully you can enjoy it and hopefully the content will be useful for you. See you on the next ISIEM.